Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking something kind of fascinating: how organizing history fundamentally changes the way we understand technology's true impact on society. History isn't just this stagnant list of dates or dusty names we're forced to memorize. Not at all. It's an incredibly active, living chain of events that literally shapes the world we navigate every single day. So, we're going to explore how visually mapping out human progress gives us a much sharper, more accurate lens to truly understand the technological forces defining our modern reality. To really frame our approach today, let's look at this biblical principle that everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way. When we look back at centuries of human innovation, the sheer volume of data, inventions, and societal shifts can honestly feel totally overwhelming. It's like staring at this massive tangled web. But by applying this specific principle, bringing order to the messiness of history, we can structure that information to bring profound clarity to the past. Order turns all that noise into a clear signal, letting us see what actually matters. So here's our roadmap for today. 1. Organizing history with charts. 2. Cause, effect, and innovation. 3. Case study, the cotton gin. 4. Morality and technological gifts. And 5. Education fused with morality. Let's jump right in. Section 1. Organizing history with charts. Have you ever thought of historical data like a massive, tangled knot of thread? Well, visualizing history through charts essentially untangles that web, pulling the threads straight so we can actually make sense of them. Charts make it significantly easier to compare inventions side by side, spot hidden patterns that might otherwise just get lost in the noise, and then use those insights to strategically plan for the future. You aren't just memorizing isolated facts anymore. You're visualizing the distinct shape of human progress. It takes these sprawling historical timelines and distills them into clear, actionable data that your brain can effortlessly process. Section 2. Cause, effect, and innovation. So what exactly is a cause and effect relationship? Basically, it's the connection where one event, like a new innovation, directly brings about specific changes or consequences in society. Think of an invention dropping like a heavy stone into a perfectly still pond. The invention is the cause, and it immediately sends these massive shockwaves or ripples outward through the culture, the economy, and the daily routines of everyday people. You simply can't grasp the full picture of history without understanding this vital connection. Innovations never happen in a vacuum, right? They always displace the water around them. By organizing these relationships visually, you can trace the exact line directly from a new innovation to its ultimate impact on families, societies, and global economies. You'll learn to quickly identify the specific causes and effects of innovations. Plus, you'll be able to connect technological changes directly to their resulting social impacts, as well as their economic impacts. By mastering this kind of visual organization, you're building the exact same analytical frameworks that real historians and economists use every single day to dissect the past and forecast the future. Section 3. Case study, the cotton gin. To really cement this concept, let's look at a powerful historical example. When you're charting inventions, tracking the initial purpose alongside the final effects is absolutely crucial. Take the cotton gin. The purpose of this invention was super straightforward and completely well-intentioned: to speed up the incredibly slow and labor-intensive processing of cotton. But the effects that followed were massive and profoundly complicated. On one hand, it triggered incredible economic growth. But on the other hand, it inadvertently led to a tragic, exponential increase in the institution of slavery. The invention did exactly what it was designed to do, but the ripple effects completely reshaped a nation's trajectory. This stark duality, an economic boom running parallel to increased slavery, is exactly why we have to chart history comprehensively. It forces us to confront the reality that innovations are frequently double-edged swords. A single technological leap can simultaneously elevate a society financially while causing devastating harm ethically and socially. The cotton gin revolutionized an entire industry and generated immense wealth, but it also entrenched and expanded brutal human bondage. Visualizing this duality ensures we never just blindly look at technological progress as purely positive without questioning the broader societal cost. This step-by-step analytical process is incredibly revealing. Step 1. You list the invention side by side. Step 2. You carefully compare those wide-reaching changes. And Step 3. You track how one invention inevitably leads to the next. Seeing this visually lets you track the exact domino effect of human ingenuity. For instance, you can literally trace how the steam engine laid the foundation for the locomotive, which then catalyzed the expansion of cross-country trade. You see exactly how the solution to one societal problem creates the foundation for the very next invention in human history.
Section 4. Morality and Technological Gifts.
This brings us to a profound pivot point in our explainer. How do we handle the power of innovation? 1 Peter 4:10 says, "Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others." Innovation is undeniably a brilliant gift meant to serve people. Intelligence, engineering prowess, raw creativity, these aren't just for showing off technical capability or turning a massive corporate profit. They're deeply powerful tools, and the ultimate metric of any tool's true value is how well it's utilized to elevate and serve the human condition. Raw intelligence without a service-oriented mindset is, honestly, ultimately hollow. So using technology wisely requires recognizing that our inventions have to aim to uplift society. We have a clear mandate to create solutions that genuinely help people. At the same time, we must actively ensure we don't cause harm to others and we don't cause harm to our environment. These are totally interconnected. A true innovator doesn't just stop at asking, can we successfully build this piece of tech? They absolutely have to ask, should we build this? And who will it ultimately affect?
Section 5. Education fused with morality. Let's bring all of this together. Education without morality will hurt. What is the point of being exceptionally smart and highly educated if we just continue to make bad choices that inevitably hurt others? Think back to our case study on the cotton gin. It was a piece of brilliant engineering, for sure, but it carried devastating social consequences because the economic implementation totally lacked an ethical foundation. When we separate what we know from what is right, society ultimately suffers. Actually, scratch that. Knowledge without an ethical compass isn't just useless, it's basically a much faster, far more efficient way to travel in the exact wrong direction.
Romans 8:6-7 promises peace of mind to everyone who keeps his or her mind spiritual. When we intertwine our education with deep ethical principles and biblical morality, we don't just gain raw intelligence, we gain the ultimate promise of peace of mind. Keeping our minds anchored spiritually fundamentally transforms how we deploy our earthly knowledge. It shifts our focus from mere progression to purposeful progression. Contrast that profound peace of mind with the chaos and societal harm we discussed earlier. The core experience we should want for every learner is an education that seamlessly harmonizes the sheer brilliance of the human mind with the deep purity of a service-oriented spirit. So I want to leave you with this final thought. How will you use your education and gifts to serve others today? You now understand how to effectively organize history, how to track the complex web of cause and effect visually, and why it is absolutely critical to pair innovation with a strong moral compass. The future is essentially a blank chart, just waiting to be filled in by your generation. Will your future innovations inadvertently bring harm, or will you consciously use your gifts to bring orderly, positive change to the world? Keep learning, keep analyzing, and go out there and innovate with true purpose. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.